your locally owned electric cooperative, and your trusted energy advisor. Our coverage is also brought to you by Ascend Federal Credit Union, the exclusive credit union of Blue Raider Athletics, and by Ascension St. Thomas, official hospital partner of MTSU. Be part of the show by emailing your questions to radio@goblueraiders.com. Now, here is your host, the voice of the Blue Raiders, Chip Walters.
Welcome into Rick Insell Live for this Monday night, and Chip will be along with Coach McDevitt a little bit later on this evening at 7 o'clock. This is Dick Palmer with Tony Stennett, going to be joining us tonight. Rick Insell, head coach of the Lady Raiders, and our show is brought to you as always by Ascend Federal Credit Union, the exclusive credit union of Blue Raider Athletics. And we're doing things a little bit different tonight as we are on a Zoom broadcast on our Blue Raider network. You'll be able to pick us up on Facebook Live, also on Twitter, and of course on radio on our regular Blue Raider network, flagship station WGNS, and also the TuneIn app on your media device. Brought to you again by the Ascend Federal Credit Union. And I'd like to welcome in Tony Stennett. Tony, are you there?
I'm here, Dick.
Okay, well, good. Has Coach gotten hooked up yet?
He is.
Yeah, I'm here.
Coach Insell, there he is. Okay, good. Good to have everybody here. And Coach, we have some headlines that Tony always prepares for us, brought to you by the Murfreesboro Post, covering daily news from Murfreesboro. You can pick one up around town every Monday or log on to murfreesboropost.com. And since Tony's here, we're just going to let him do the headlines since he wrote them.
All right, thanks, Dick. And this week's headlines, first off, is the games against Marshall have been rescheduled. Those will be Thursday, March 4th and Friday, March 5th. Both of those games will tip at 6 p.m. Of course, fans back in the Murphy Center, so we're excited about that. For those who are unable to be in the Murphy Center, both of those games will also be on ESPN+. So looking forward to that. March 4th and 5th, those will be the last two regular season games for the Lady Raiders before heading to Frisco for the conference tournament. Also this week, Anastasia Hayes continues to be the nation's leading scorer, 28.2 points per game. And also within the last week, Anastasia has been named to the Naismith Trophy midseason watch list, the Wade Trophy watch list, and she's also been named a semifinalist, making her one of the top 10 for the Becky Hammond Mid-Major Player of the Year award. So lots of things going on with the Lady Raiders, and looking forward to their return to the court this coming week at Louisiana Tech.
Okay, thank you, Tony. Headlines brought to you by the Murfreesboro Post. And Coach Insell, just wanted to check with you since the games last week were canceled. Going to get you kind of go over what's been going on with our Blue Raider program since that time, and have we gotten everybody back together again?
Well, we get everybody back but one today. We were not able to practice today, the weather being like it was, and it was a pretty dangerous situation. I didn't want to get the players out and then them mess up one of their cars or maybe get hurt or hurt somebody. So it was best that we didn't practice today. We're going to try to get together tomorrow and practice. We had, like I said, we had them all back. We would have had them all back today except one. And that young lady will come out on Wednesday. And then it looks like, going into La Tech that we're going to be 100% right now. We tested yesterday. Everybody was negative. And then we test again tomorrow. And so we'll take it from there, Dick. But right now, what we did last week, we just got together. We felt like we needed to get a lot of time in on the floor as far as shooting the basketball. And we were able to work with those young ladies that were out because of contact tracing, they were able to work with, they were all negative, and they were able to work with Nina and Matt and Eddie, because all of them and myself, because we had all had COVID. And so we were able to get them in the gym and go through shooting practices with them. And we had workouts for our freshman post players. And we felt like we got a lot out of that. I thought Matt and Nina did a extremely good job there. I mean, I could see by the end of the week, those young ladies had improved. Now we got to take that part of their game, slowing it down and finishing with the basketball. We got to take that to the playing floor. And I feel like that's what's going to happen. We need to bring them a little bit further along in the next 2 to 3 weeks until we get into the tournament. Now, Kim, we were able to bring in the young ladies that had already had COVID. And you're talking about Deja. You're also talking about Anastasia. You're talking about Rella, and you're talking about Annie, and bring them in, and they were able to go through their shoot, and Courtney, and they were able to go through their shooting practice also at a different time, and we were able to get a lot in there with them. I was really pleased with the way all of them finished the week shooting. It was they were knocking down shots. They were the drills that they were having. They went 60 minutes is basically what they did. 60 solid minutes, conditioning, shooting the basketball, footwork, squaring up to the basket, all the things that they would use in our offensive sets. We worked on all of that, and I was real pleased with what I saw there. So overall, I thought we had a pretty good week, considering the fact that we were not able to play. Now, if we had had 1 or 2 more players, we could have won. If we'd had 8 players, I think we had 6 that we could compete with, and that was it. And we just were not able to go with 6 players. The conference rule is 8 players. And if we'd had 2 more, we could have gone on and played the games last week at home. I think our team is really excited about the fact of getting back in the gym, back in Murphy Center, playing before our fans. I think that's one of their priorities. Not only is winning the conference championship, going to the NCAA tournament, but getting back in front of our fans in our facility, Murphy Center, Monty Hale, Jimmy Earl floor, and playing. And that's what they're looking forward to. I think that's going to be a big plus right here at the end of the year for our basketball team.
Okay, well, good. We'll get into what's going to be coming up this week a little bit later on. We need to take our first commercial break. We'll do that right now as we remind you you're listening to and watching Rick Insell Live on the Blue Raider Network from Learfield IMG College.
Murfreesboro, you can count on an award-winning service team for all your home maintenance and improvement needs. Lee Company, A+ rated with the Better Business Bureau, recognized by Angie's List as a super service provider since 2008, is ready to assist with all your home maintenance needs. Heating and air conditioning, plumbing, electrical, home improvement, and more. Experience the convenience of calling one phone number for all your home maintenance and improvement needs. Call Lee Company today at 615-867-1000 or visit leecompany.com.
Murfreesboro Medical Clinic is proud to be the official medical group of MTSU Athletics. We all win big when we work as a team for better health. Just like MTSU's athletes and coaches, our healthcare professionals work tirelessly to make our community proud. At MMC, we really are true blue. MTSU is our hometown team, and your health is our mission. Visit mmclinic.com or call us at 615-893-4480.
Congratulations to Ascend Federal Credit Union for being voted Best Credit Union and Best Bank by readers of the Murfreesboro Post. Ascend, the exclusive credit union of Blue Raider Athletics, serving MTSU fans with 6 Rutherford County branches, convenient ATMs, online banking, a mobile app, and 24/7 support by phone. Visit ascend.org to learn more about Ascend's MTSU debit card and annual scholarship. Bank where Blue Raiders belong. Ascend is federally insured by NCUA.
Love getting prices that are lower than low on backyard favorites like grill-ready hamburgers and fresh-picked strawberries? Then shop at Kroger. We give you more ways to save on the fresh you love with tools like the Kroger app. where you can find personalized coupons on top of weekly sales, plus rewards like fuel points, giving you prices that are lower than the everyday low. Kroger, fresh for everyone.
What happens to your decision-making when you drink? Well, after one drink, you feel confident. A few more, and calling your ex at 1 a.m. seems like a great idea. And you're pretty sure the secret to a great taco is 4-day-old macaroni. The bottom line, drunk you doesn't make great decisions. So you're risking a DUI or worse if you count on him to get you home. Plan before you party. Get home safe. Paid for by the Tennessee Highway Safety Office.
What do you think of when you hear community, integrity, commitment, tradition, and partners? The folks at Sodexo know it's family, friends, neighbors, and coworkers, the people we live with, work with, share our world with, and the fans we love to serve. Sodexo is community. It's a community of more than 200 employees and nonprofit volunteers and the thousands of fans we serve at MTSU. Sodexo is a community of people who are committed to enhancing your game day experience. Sodexo, proud server of your game day concession needs and proud to serve the Blue Raiders.
News Radio WGNS, the flagship station for Blue Raider sports.
And welcome back into Rick Insell Live for this Monday night, brought to you by the Ascend Federal Credit Union. We are on Facebook Live, Twitter, the Blue Raider Network, our flagship station WGNS. And also, this is a Zoom meeting primarily because of the weather. And earlier, Tony, Coach, was telling me about a press conference that you guys had with several media representatives and Anastasia Hayes, because she has been put on just about every outstanding player list that's available in the country. I thought I might bring Tony in and tell us how that got arranged and what you guys thought about it.
All right, Dick. Like I said, we did conduct a national press conference last week, actually last Tuesday. And big reason for that is, with the way things are now, sometimes it's really hard for the media to get a hold of players and, with respect to their class schedules, their practice schedules, so forth. And we thought it'd be a good idea with the season Anastasia's having to put her out there and, allow the national media an opportunity to interview Coach Insell and Anastasia about her season and everything that's happening for her. And we had a great turnout, had folks from ESPN, Fox Sports, the USBWA. So a lot of national writers. And then also this week it generated, Anastasia was featured on Channel 2, 4, and Fox in Nashville. But Coach, I'll just let you speak to that. And, a lot of these national writers you've been dealing with for many years. So just kind of your thoughts and how that went to have the program out there on the national stage.
Tony, I don't really know if in my 16 years at Middle that we've conducted an interview that got as much national attention as the other day. You had the biggest names, and when I say the biggest names, you in women's basketball on that interview, Mel Greenberg, which is the guru of women's basketball out of Pennsylvania, and is on just about every committee that you can think of all across the nation. Debbie Antonelli, Debbie Antonelli, which you see 3-4 times a week on TV calling games, are on different shows that ESPN's got right on down the line. Michelle Volk, which writes for the USA Today, just to name a few. And then you had all of our local media there that really hadn't paid a whole lot of attention to us this year. But all of a sudden, they're on those, and you see all what's taking place from Fox to 2, 4, and 5 across the Middle Tennessee area. I was just very, very pleased. I was excited for Anastasia and her family. I was excited for our program, our coaching staff, and for our university, because I think that created about as much positive as anything that we've done in recent years, to be honest with you. It was very exciting.
Well, and
Well-
Coach, I was also going to ask you along those lines. I mean, just because you put something out there doesn't always mean that it's going to happen and they come. So this program has a long-standing tradition of success with some nationally renowned players that have not only done exceptionally well at Middle Tennessee, but carried the torch once leaving here. Alicia Clark, Amber Holt, Chrissy Givens, Cheyenne Parker still playing. So how much of that do you think lends itself to people taking an interest?
Let's don't forget Ebony Rowe, also our all-time leading
Right.
scorer and rebounder. I mean, how could you forget her? But how could you forget any of those players? Those are they had all of them had a great supporting cast. One of the things we talked about the other day was about Alicia Clark, as successful as she was here at Middle Tennessee, and in our conference. She had 4 young ladies around her that was in the 1,000-point club. I don't know if that's ever been done before in women's basketball, and I don't know if it's been done since. I'm sure it has, but I hadn't heard about it. You had Anne Marie, you had Jackie, you had Brandy, and you had Chelsea on that group there. And then you go to and of course, AC goes on in, and look what she's done now. And she's getting paid the maximum with Washington and just left Seattle. You got Cheyenne Parker, which just signed a new contract with Atlanta, which is for the maximum money. Amber Holt, who can ever forget Amber Holt and what she did for our program. Chrissy Givens, a winner from the time she came up the ramp till she stepped out of every classroom on campus. I think she was a straight A student. Just what she was able to do in the pros and overseas. And then you look at Eb, which came in, was the leading rebounder and scorer for Middle Tennessee State University for the 4 years she was here, and the success that she had and her family. They all left big time marks. But what they did was they brought attention to this university in a positive manner, and very, very proud of what they were able to do. Now Anastasia is coming along and leading the country in scoring. Is going to have an unlimited amount of opportunities to go on and play, hopefully in the WNBA and overseas, and just doing what she can do to win games. And she's got a good supporting cast around her. Courtney, which is standing there. You got to have someone playing that 4 position and 5 position that can knock down shots. Her sister Ace, Deja Case from Chicago area. I'm sure we got some people in. You just told me that we're pressing 100 listeners right now on Facebook Live. So we got all kinds of people that are out there that are paying attention to what's going on here in our program and with our players. So the whole thing just was exciting. I'll be honest with you. And I was very, very pleased with the way it was conducted and what we got out of it.
Coach,
Dick, if I could have one follow-up to that is I know you've also had a couple interviews here in the last week and a half, the Washington Post, and then just this week, into last week, a national WNBA writer wanting to talk to you about Alicia Clark. Talk about that she's 10 years removed from her career here, but when people are writing about Alicia and her story nationally, it still comes back to MTSU.
Well, I think she had 2 interviews. The first interview was with the Washington Post or the New York Times? It was one of the 2.
Washington Post.
And then we had one was that also with the Washington Post also, or was it?
The second one was a national writer for the WNBA.
Okay. They just wanted to know about what type of a young lady Alicia was. And, I just couldn't give her enough accolades, to be honest with you, because she was a winner. I never had anybody that worked as hard in practice as Alicia Clark. I think she worked harder in practice than she did in the game and on the game floor. She didn't waste a possession. If you had to go back and look at an individual, and I've been doing this now nearly 50 years, I've had a lot of great players that have gone on, had great careers, but Alicia Clark was special. She never took a possession off. You didn't have to say go hard. You didn't have to say repeat that rep, because if it didn't go right, she repeated it anyway. You didn't have to say, get up the line and play defense, box out. You didn't have to do any of that because she was doing that. I mean, she felt like to perfect her game, she had to take care of all the little things. And that's one thing that our coaching staff preaches every day. You got to take care of the little things, and you got to go. A practice is not something where you go through the motions and you get an idea of what the other team is going to do. Now, don't get me wrong. You want to get an idea of what the other team is going to do, but you don't want to go through the motions. And one player that I've had that never went through the motions was Alicia Clark. When we went, we were going through what the other team was going to do on game day. I never had to say walk through it because it didn't matter if you said walk through it, she was going to go wide open. And I never had a player like that. And even hurt herself one time before a game. We were getting ready to play Louisiana Lafayette, and she hurt herself during the walkthrough because she was going so hard. Those are special individuals there. You wonder why she's in the WNBA? This was not something that was gifted to her. This was something that she earned. I don't know that she was ever gifted anything, to be honest with you, Tony. And that's what I try to get across to those writers. Even though, how many people do you know it's been a 4-time MVP, 2-time, I think, of the Atlantic Sun, and then came on board with the Sun Belt Conference and 2 times with the Sun Belt Conference. So 4 times MVP. And not any of that was gifted to her. She earned every bit of that. I think she may have set the record. I told you to check this the other day, but I think she ended up going 7 times in a row, maybe as player of the week, something like that, 6 or 7 times in a row, and ended up winning it like 8 or 9 times, I believe. The only one that came close to her was Ebony Rowe. And then now you got Anastasia, which is getting closer to that. So that's one thing I loved about coaching Alicia. And did I ever think that she would make it in the WNBA? Never crossed my mind that she wouldn't make it. Even when she got cut twice. And I'm thinking, why don't you come on home and get involved in coaching? Or, she liked to cook. That never entered her mind. She just went right back overseas, and she got into what was her weaknesses, came back, ended up being one of the best defensive players in the WNBA, if not the best, and ended up leading the WNBA in 3-point percentage shooting. What can you say about that, about her?
Not bad for a post player, Coach. And
well,
it always warms my heart to hear you talk about Alicia.
Well, I could spend this whole section talking about Alicia Clark and the things that she did while she was here, how she cared for people. She never put herself on a pedestal. She would, if you remember, we had a young lady that got diagnosed with the Marfan's disease that we were really counting on. And that's another story, Dr. McPhee and Chris Massaro never backed off. They educated that young lady, and we did not owe her anything because she had that when she came in. But yet they stood by and educated Dr. McPhee, and Chris Massaro did. And Alicia Clark was her roommate, her and Chelsea. And they watched after that young lady and did things for her that they really didn't have to do. And I just sat back. My biggest regret, and I told this sports writer this, Dick, my biggest regret was that I did not take the time to enjoy watching Alicia Clark play. I was her coach, and I was calling on her to do things probably she did that was nearly impossible for her to do, but she would still try to do instead of sitting back on that bench and watching her play the game and lead this team like she did, lead her teammates to the championship she led them to. And so that's my biggest regret.
Yeah, very well said, Coach. We'll take a break and be back with more Rick Insell Live on the Blue Raider Network from Learfield IMG College.
The MTSU Alumni Association is proud of its more than 130,000 living alumni who are leading, teaching, entertaining, researching, flying, farming, nursing, and more worldwide. Every Blue Raider accomplishment adds value to your degree. Are you connected to the MTSU National Alumni Association? Visit mtalumni.com to share what you're doing, update your information, and see how you can be involved and informed. You can also follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram.
Tennessee Orthopedic Alliance takes great pride in treating Middle Tennessee State University athletes, experts in bones, joints, and muscles, and with more than 60 specialists in locations across Middle Tennessee, TOA has a playbook to get you back in the game. To request an appointment, visit us at TOA.com or give us a call at 855-NEED-TOA. Tennessee Orthopedic Alliance, or TOA, the official team doctors for Blue Raider Athletics.
With COVID cases on the rise, student and faculty safety is more important than ever. RJ Young provides zero-contact temperature kiosks to scan temperatures of every visitor into a campus building. Paired with a database accessed through a QR code, you can monitor and log critical information for tracing needs. To provide COVID protection on your campus, visit rjyoung.com/safety.
Quick cash could do you right. Quick cash could do you right. You could win some cash in an instant. You could win it later that night. Fun now, fun later. Add quick cash to a drawing game like Lotto America, Cash for Life, and even Tennessee Cash. Add quick cash to any of them, and you can win cash in a flash. Today's the day to play quick cash from the Tennessee Lottery. It's game-changing fun. Ooh. Now please play responsibly.
Roscoe Brown is proud to be a longtime supporter of MTSU Athletics and your locally owned HVAC and plumbing company. For 80 years, Roscoe Brown has been the trusted name in heating, cooling, and plumbing for Middle Tennessee homeowners and businesses. We provide 24/7 assistance by calling 1-888-MY-ROSCOE. Turn to the experts at Carrier and Roscoe Brown. People you know, a name you trust. Go Blue Raiders.
Roscoe Brown. RoscoeBrown.com.
Hey, Blue Raider fans, this is Dr. Mark Hardison with Middle Tennessee Oral and Implant Surgery. We are so proud to be able to serve the Blue Raider teams and their families when they need wisdom teeth removed, dental implants, or other specialty oral care. Our mission is to provide health care as it should be, providing compassion, availability, and excellence to every one of our patients. We deeply appreciate the support of your business as we join in supporting our team. Let's go Blue!
News Radio WGNS, the flagship station for Blue Raider sports.
And welcome back into Rick Insell Live for this Monday night, brought to you by the Ascend Federal Credit Union. And we have some more information from Ascend with Chip Walters and his guests.
We'd like to welcome Jason Powers, Senior Vice President of Administration at Ascend Federal Credit Union. Ascend is the exclusive credit union of Blue Raider Athletics and a proud supporter of the Blue Raider Athletic Association.
Thank you. It's a pleasure to join you this evening.
Well, I understand that Ascend has a brand promise to educate and help its members become effective financial stewards. Tell us a little bit about how the credit union does that.
Well, we have our free online financial education center, which is a great place to learn about a variety of financial topics. It's a terrific resource that's open to everyone, not just members of Ascend. Maybe you want to build an emergency fund, or perhaps you need a little guidance creating a budget. Just visit ascend.org/financial-education to learn more. Users can choose a playlist of brief learning modules, or they can personalize their playlist to learn more about the topics most important to them. Playlists include short videos, interactive lessons, and calculators, and users can go through the playlist at their own pace.
Brief, interactive financial tips. That sounds like something I need. What's another way Ascend educates its members and helps them be wiser with their money?
We offer a budgeting tool called Money Management. This free tool is integrated into Ascend's online banking platform, and it's easily accessible within our mobile app. Members can use Money Management to set goals for debt payoff, savings and retirement, or to create an overall budget. They can also get detailed net worth analysis and tracking.
Well, that sounds like something you'd find in an expensive financial software. Jason, thank you so much today, and thank you for Ascend and what all they do for the Blue Raiders.
Thank you very much for having us this evening.
All right, thank you, Chip. Jason Powers. And guys, we're running a little bit behind on some of our partners. So I want to remind you that you can get ahead of the game with the best home services team in town. That's the Lee Company. For all of your heating, air conditioning, plumbing, electrical, and home improvement needs, Lee Company is the team to call at 867-1000 or online at leecompany.com. I'm sure they've been working awfully hard the last few days. And somebody else who's going to be working hard in the next few days are Grannis and Associates, our certified public accountants specializing in business and personal accounting and tax services. Grannis and Associates, 895-1040 or online at gcpas.com. All right, we're going to take another break to get caught up, and then we'll be back with Coach Rick Insell, Tony Stinnett, as you listen to Rick Insell Live on the Blue Raider Network from Learfield IMG College.
Tennessee Orthopedic Alliance takes great pride in treating Middle Tennessee State University athletes, experts in bones, joints, and muscles, and with more than 60 specialists in locations across Middle Tennessee, TOA has a playbook to get you back in the game. To request an appointment, visit us at TOA.com or give us a call at 855-NEED-TOA. Tennessee Orthopedic Alliance, or TOA, the official team doctors for Blue Raider Athletics.
We welcome you now to Skateboard Vert. On the deck, it's the extreme one, Tristan Jaden, dropping in, and whoa, no way!
Did he just frontside backside that?
He did, Brooks. He hit the front of that Extreme Cash instant game, flipped it, scratched the back, and this crowd is loving it.
We've seen extreme tricks before, Ryder, but I don't know how you top this. I really don't.
Take your fun to the extreme with Extreme Cash games, only from the Tennessee Lottery.
Game-changing fun. Please play responsibly.
Build a safer campus with security cameras by RJ Young. Our security cameras are limitlessly smart, scalable, and simple to use. Schools are choosing our security systems as they can be monitored from anywhere and give instant alerts. With COVID cases on the rise, the camera's environmental sensors conduct heat mapping to monitor high traffic areas so you know where to sanitize often. To provide protection to your campus, visit rjyoung.com/safety.
Did you realize that over 85% of Americans own a cell phone, but only 40% own an individual life insurance policy? That leaves way too many families who'll be unprotected if they suddenly lose a parent. That's why we'd also like to point out that 100% of State Farm agents offer life insurance. So if you're at the place where procrastination just met motivation, use that cell phone of yours and call me, State Farm agent Deb Insell, at 931-684-5274.
Roscoe Brown is proud to be a longtime supporter of MTSU Athletics and your locally owned HVAC and plumbing company. For 80 years, Roscoe Brown has been the trusted name in heating, cooling, and plumbing for Middle Tennessee homeowners and businesses. We provide 24/7 assistance by calling 1-888-MY-ROSCOE. Turn to the experts at Carrier and Roscoe Brown. People you know, a name you trust. Go Blue Raiders.
Roscoe Brown. RoscoeBrown.com.
At Ascension St. Thomas, care is more than a word. Care is serving our patients, standing with them in times of need, and showing compassion when they're at their most vulnerable. Care is listening and delivering personalized plans from a team of specialists, providing leading-edge treatments at every step. At Ascension St. Thomas, care is more than a word. It's our calling. Make your next appointment at getsthealthcare.com.
News Radio WGNS, the flagship station for Blue Raider sports.
And welcome back into Rick Insell Live on this Monday night. Coach Insell has been in this game for a long time, as most of you know. And I guess, Coach, anybody who's coached basketball for any length of time has had battles with the weather. And I thought with this ice and snow thing we've got going now, you might recall some of the unusual things that the weather has done in your coaching career.
Well, Dick, I'll be honest with you. In high school, when you had bad weather, you had some of your biggest crowds because they didn't have anything else to do. And in Bedford County, it's a rural county. Most everybody had a four-wheel drive truck. If they didn't, their neighbor did, and they were able to come to the games and gave them something to do. We had some of our biggest crowds. Well, I thought that would change when I came to Middle Tennessee. And we've had some games here where we've had the parking lot. We've had to clean the parking lot off. We've had to salt the sidewalks and the passageways into the Murphy Center. And I can tell you right now, some of our not biggest games, but the weather always helped us because usually on the collegiate level, teams are already there. They're going to be there. You don't have to worry about it. And you're going to play the game anyway. So we've had some big crowds. And I guess Chip would tell you the same thing with the men's program. People, when they get into the house like we've had to do the last couple of days, and if it ends up being another day or two, they're going to want somewhere to go. They're going to get out. They're going to get out and they're going to see. They're going to go to the ball games. They're going to eat popcorn and drink their Cokes and cheer for the Raiders and the Lady Raiders. So I can't really say that I've had a lot of bad times because of the weather. Now I will also say this too. I don't know that we've ever been beat when we had bad weather. We may have, but I'm going to be like Robert A. Harris now. You know, Robert A. lost 500 games. He won 500 games and lost 500 games over in Woodbury. But those 500 games he lost, the referees cheated him. So I'm going to tell you right now that the weather was always good to us because we always won all those games.
Hey, were you involved in that big March snowstorm during the state tournament back in the 90s sometime when all the teams were here, but the fans couldn't come in?
I hate that you brought that up because that's one of the years I was not there, Dick.
Well, I didn't remember what year that was.
Coffee County won that state championship that year. Missy Dawson was the coach there, which had played for me, was my point guard on my first state championship team in '86. But she was the coach. And I will tell you this. I loaded every one of my boys up and my wife up in we had a minivan. And those minivans had that front wheel drive and all that. And we came to the state tournament and sat in G section because I wanted people to know that we were going to be there. We were going to support the women's basketball game. Even when we lost, I was going to make sure that everybody knew that the Insell family was going to be there and be supportive. I'll tell you something else about old Chip, which is the voice of the Blue Raiders, used to be my play-by-play man back in the 70s. So that'll give you, he was in high school then. Am I correct on that, Chip?
Well, I will jump in there and no, that was not correct.
80s.
Semi-correct. 1984, your first trip to the finals with Patsy Smith and those girls, that was the year that I did your games on radio, and I was already at middle. I had done the games in Columbia for 4 years. But also you mentioned the Manchester team. I was thinking about that today because a lot of people have talked about the 93 snowstorm. Ryan Simmons, who was in Tony's job at one point in media relations, his twin sisters were the two big post players for Coffee County that year. And I remember going to the game. I did PA for the state championship game, and there was nobody from Manchester there because I-24 was shut down. The teams were there, but nobody else could make it.
You're right. You're right. So, Dick, does that answer your question?
That's a pretty good answer, Coach. And it's time to take a break. So we will do that, and we'll be back with more.
We need to get back on the Lady Raiders, Dick. We need to get back on the Lady Raiders. That's what we're getting paid to do.
Rick Insell Live coming to you on Learfield IMG College.
Murfreesboro Medical Clinic is proud to be the official medical group of MTSU Athletics. We all win big when we work as a team for better health. Just like MTSU's athletes and coaches, our healthcare professionals work tirelessly to make our community proud. At MMC, we really are true blue. MTSU is our hometown team, and your health is our mission. Visit mmclinic.com or call us at 615-893-4480.
What happens to your decision-making when you drink? Well, after one drink, you feel confident. A few more, and calling your ex at 1 a.m. seems like a great idea. And you're pretty sure the secret to a great taco is 4-day-old macaroni. The bottom line, Drunk you doesn't make great decisions. So you're risking a DUI or worse if you count on him to get you home. Plan before you party. Get home safe. Paid for by the Tennessee Highway Safety Office.
What do you think of when you hear community, integrity, commitment, tradition, and partners? The folks at Sodexo know it's family, friends, neighbors, and coworkers. The people we live with, work with, share our world with, and the fans we love to serve. Sodexo is community. It's a community of more than 200 employees and nonprofit volunteers and the thousands of fans we serve at MTSU. Sodexo is a community of people who are committed to enhancing your game day experience. Sodexo, proud server of your game day concession needs and proud to serve the Blue Raiders.
Love getting prices that are lower than low on backyard favorites like grill-ready hamburgers and fresh-picked strawberries? Then shop at Kroger. We give you more ways to save on the fresh you love with tools like the Kroger app, where you can find personalized coupons on top of weekly sales, plus rewards like fuel points, giving you prices that are lower than the everyday low. Kroger, fresh for everyone.
Let's go out west, camp at the base of a mountain, get some fresh air.
Yes, let's go camping with air conditioning.
We can be hundreds of miles away from the closest person, really live off the grid.
Love the off the grid part, but with Wi-Fi.
Whether you're the serious camper or occasional glamper, Ascend offers low rates and flexible terms on RV loans. You can apply online at ascend.org or any of our branch locations. RV loans from Ascend Federal Credit Union.
Put Lee Company on your team and you'll always be ahead of the game with home maintenance, improvements, and repair. Sign up for a Lee Company home maintenance plan to have your heating and air conditioning system tuned up twice a year. In addition, you'll receive a comprehensive electrical and plumbing home inspection, plus member-only discounts and priority service, all for as low as $8.25 a month. For the very best electrical, heating, air conditioning, and plumbing services, call Lee Company at 615-867-1000 or visit leecompany.com.
News Radio WGNS, the flagship station for Blue Raider sports.
Welcome back into Rick Insell Live. We do have some information from the Tennessee Orthopedic Alliance, our good folks who take care of our athletes, and Chip Walters has more.
Welcome back, and Dr. Robert Thompson of TOA joins us today. And Dr. Thompson, here everybody's been off for Christmas. They've had time out and about. They've tried to be active, and sure enough, they probably went through the yard and rolled their ankle and had some sort of sprain. So kind of give us an idea of, how light can they be, how severe can they be, and what do folks need to do?
Sure. Well, just like anything, everything is a spectrum in terms of the amount of damage that they do, and really that has a implication for how long it's going to shut them down as well. But probably the most common thing I hear in my office is I stepped in a hole in the yard and rolled it. So you picked a perfect phrase for that. So I would say it mainly just depends on how much swelling you see, how much bruising, and everyone overall has good potential for improvement. Probably overall 90% of people do fine without needing anything surgically, even if you have a pretty nasty ankle sprain. But the main thing is starting with the classics of what's called RICE therapy, RICE, rest, ice, compression, and elevation. And then the main thing too is just understanding that if you have more concern, come in and be seen. We'll bring you in, get an x-ray to make sure there's nothing else going on.
I was going to ask you, what would be the threshold of somebody, needing to come in and have it taken a look at professionally?
Sure. Well, we see ankle sprains commonly, and it's something that you don't always know if it's a sprain or a fracture either way. So if you have concern, making sure that you get in to be seen is appropriate. And then another thing too, just from an expectation standpoint, if you don't feel like you're making progress, that's another thing to have you come in and be seen. People will often describe hearing or feeling a painful pop, and that can be bone. It could also be ligament tearing and stretching as well.
All right. Well, that's the good news today from Dr. Robert Thompson, how you can stay in the game from TOA.
All right. Thank you, Chip. Thanks to Dr. Thompson for those good words. And want to remind you about Tri-Green Equipment. They know the value of teamwork. They have the tractor packages with implements you need. Score a new John Deere tractor package at a comfortable low monthly payment and get back to what really matters, Blue Raider basketball. Get started online at trygreen.com. Tri-Green, a proud partner of MTSU Athletics. Rick Insell Live, Dick Ballmer with the coach, with Tony Stennett also. And Coach, I thought we might ought to just spend a few minutes. We've got a little time here to talk about the tournament because it's just around the corner. We've got 3 weekends left before we get ready to head to Texas, and the Conference USA tournament's going to be a little different this year.
Well, Dick, before we get into that, somebody just texted me, one of your supporters, and said they wanted you to know that it's snowing also on the Little Red River.
Okay. So, Coach, I was wondering about that.
I bet you
that's
were.
In Ohio, I think.
Well, is it in Ohio or was it in Oklahoma? We were one of those two places. You forgot where we were, I think. But anyway, the tournament is upon us, and right now we're in first place in the East Side. We're 4 games. We're 1 game in first place ahead of Charlotte, and we're 4 games with the tiebreakers with the rest of the conference, which would be FIU in our side, FAU, Western Kentucky. We still have Marshall and also ODU to play. ODU has 7 losses. So, I feel real good about where we're at right now. I feel real good about where our basketball team's at. We're working hard. We have good attitudes. We just need to play. And we got to go to La Tech. They're probably one of the hottest teams in the conference right now. I saw where Western had 2 real close games at Rice the other day. One of them, Western had the lead with about 45 seconds to go, I believe. And so that tells me, I saw UTEP play, who was that? FIU, I believe it was. And they got 2 wins at FIU, much like we did. FIU did not have their best player. She was the big kid inside that played against us. Got a double-double, I believe, both games against us. But I feel real good about that. And FIU, UTEP and Rice right now looks like they're going to come out 1-2 in the West, and it looks like that us and Charlotte are going to come out 1-2 in the East. So that would give those 4 teams. A lot of that's dependent on what takes place in the next 2 weeks, really 3 weeks. The La Tech this week, and then we have ODU at home, and we have Marshall at home, and none of those games are gimmies. All of them have got good programs. They all have outstanding coaches, and we're going to have to play. We're going to have to show up and play. Now, if we were to not show up and lose 6 games in a row, then we'd be sitting right there probably not playing on Thursday and playing on Wednesday. But I don't foresee our young ladies not understanding the importance of all those games and taking care of business.
Not every team is going to play the full allotment of 18 games. In fact, Charlotte is only going to, if they get the rest of their games in, will only be playing 16 games. If we get the rest of our games in, we'll have 18. But some of the teams, Rice, for instance, has only played 8. They will only play 14 games if they get all 6 of these in.
I really don't know how that's going to come down. Chris and myself have talked, and they have some kind of formula put together. I would hate to go over that tonight and give everybody the wrong formula, but they're going to take an average of what everybody plays. Right now, it looks like the average, if everybody finished up the next 3 weeks with all their games, is going to be somewhere around 15 or 16.
Right.
That's going to be the average. There'll be a couple of teams. We could be one of them that would get 18 games in. But the rest of them is not going to be able to get in their 18 games. It's going to, like you said, Rice, the most that they're going to be able to get in is 14. And then you have a couple more that's going to be able to get in 15. So the average for the conference looks like it's going to be around 16 games, Dick. And so I don't really know how they'll come up with some kind of formula to make sure where to put what teams. I don't know that our men be able to get all their 18 games in? I'm not sure about that either. But, that they'll be fair about it. The conference will be.
Okay, very good. We're going to take our final break. Be back to talk about that La Tech trip coming up next as you listen Rick Insell live on the Blue Raider Network from Learfield IMG College.
The DoubleTree by Hilton Murfreesboro is the perfect place for your next close-to-home getaway for a change of pace or to plan your next event for 2021. Located just off I-24, 30 miles south of Nashville, and situated only minutes from Middle Tennessee State University. With Hilton's clean stay and event-ready initiatives in place, you can rest assured they're taking every precaution for you to have a safe and enjoyable stay. We'll make your stay an unforgettable experience. Don't forget the cookie.
Make a fast break for Bunny Bread, proud supporter of the Blue Raiders. With its soft, fresh taste you know and love, Bunny Bread and Bunny Buns are fan favorites for all ages. Bunny is the perfect three-pointer with the taste you want, the nutrition you need, and energy to go. So score big with Bunny Bread and Bunny Buns today and cheer the Blue Raiders on to victory.
That's what I said. Bunny Bread.
Hey Blue Raider fans, this is Dr. Mark Hardison with Middle Tennessee Oral and Implant Surgery. We are so proud to be able to serve the Blue Raider teams and their families when they need wisdom teeth removed, dental implants, or other specialty oral care. Our mission is to provide health care as it should be, providing compassion, availability, and excellence to every one of our patients. We deeply appreciate the support of your business as we join in supporting our team. Let's go Blue!
The MTSU Alumni Association is proud of its more than 130,000 living alumni who are leading, teaching, entertaining, researching, flying, farming, nursing, and more worldwide. Every Blue Raider accomplishment adds value to your degree. Are you connected to the MTSU National Alumni Association? Visit mtalumni.com to share what you're doing, update your information, and see how you can be involved and informed. You can also follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram.
News Radio WGNS, the flagship station for Blue Raider sports.
And welcome back for the final time to Rick Insell Live. A couple more of our partners we need to acknowledge. Exit Realty, Bob Lamb and Associates, the #1 producing exit realty office in the United States, and also the DNJ, Rutherford County's first source for news, sports, and much more. Visit dnj.com. And of course, our program sponsor, and has been for a number of years, the Ascend Federal Credit Union. Well, Coach, you head out to Louisiana Tech on Thursday.
Dick, I think Tony's got a few questions or comments that people has texted in, I believe.
Go ahead, Tony.
All right. First of all, Hannah Witherspoon, Dick, says you're looking good tonight. So I guess Zoom is doing good for you. Coach John Son says hello, visiting out there. We always like to hear, you talk about how supportive the Lady Raider community is. Dr. Wilson has messaged and said, love feeling your pride in all of these players. Your coaching and love for all of them has created the phenomenal Lady Raider community and the Lady Raider traditions, second to none. And Coach Franny Burbage would like to know, can we get MTSU versus UT on the women's basketball schedule?
Franny's from Pennsylvania, Tony. When Coach Summit was living, and when I got the job at Middle, one of the reasons I got the job at Middle was because of Pat calling Chris and talking to Chris and Dr. McPhee. And right from the get-go, she put us on her schedule. I asked her, I said, we want to play you. We want to play the best. And while she was in charge at UT, we played every year. Now, we had to play more years there than they played here, but they did play here a couple of times. And then the contract was still going when Holly took over. And then after the contract ran out, Holly wouldn't schedule us anymore. And we have called Kelly. Kelly played ball for me in AAU and is a fantastic coach, doing a good job there. But they just hadn't seemed to want to make room for us on their schedule. And I can't much blame them, to be honest with you, because she's trying to get that program where it needs to be. And like I said, she's doing a good job. But heck, we'll play anybody. We'll play Connecticut. We've called them several times, and we just hadn't been able to get them on the schedule either. But you know what? We don't care who we play. Dick will tell you that. We'll play anybody, anywhere, as long as they'll come back and reward our fans with some of the finest basketball programs in the country here at the Glass House.
Okay, Coach, you've got a couple of days of practice before you get on the bus and head to Ruston. Boy, that'll be an enjoyable trip.
Well,
I hope it's enjoyable.
Well, Dick, right now, just getting to play, being able to take the floor and watch your team play. We've got a good basketball team, and we got a chance to go deep into the tournaments if we all play together, share the basketball, and we start putting the ball in the hole. When we put the ball in the hole, we're as good as anybody out there, and we've proven that. So, right now it's time for us to get hot. The next 6 games, go into the tournament with a little momentum, and then again, you got to stay healthy, and you got to have a little luck to win in the tournaments. And if we stay healthy and we get a little luck on our side, then we got a shot to make a sound in the tournaments.
Louisiana Tech, we were waiting to play them in Texas last year when everything got halted. So I don't know who's got the scout on this one, but it'll be a little bit different, I guess.
Hey, I heard something interesting, Dick. I think all of y'all might want to know. Rice hung a banner up last year for being in the NCAA tournament.
Say that again.
Rice hung a banner up for being in the NCAA tournament last year.
I didn't think we had a tournament.
I didn't know we had a tournament.
No, I didn't either.
Now, they're taking over for Western. Hey, I didn't think anybody would ever do that. But Rice hung a banner up where they were in the NCAA tournament. What about that?
I guess they just assumed they were going to win the tournament, huh?
Well, I don't know that they were going to be able to do that, to be honest with you. I thought we were playing as good as anybody in the country last year at that time. So, or at least in our conference. So, I just heard that the other day. I thought that was interesting.
Hey, we'd like to thank Tony Stennett for joining us tonight on the show. And Coach, always good to talk to you. We're missing our party foul food tonight, but hopefully we'll be back with them next week, huh?
Only Dick would be thinking about that food.
All right, that's going to do it for us tonight.
You're getting like Mark Owens, Dick. It's not with the food; it's with something else. Everybody out here know what I'm talking.
I was actually saying that for Stenett's benefit. We will be back next week, hopefully. Back in the live from our Hall of Fame studio. Until then, Chip Walters, Coach McDevitt coming up next. You've been listening to Rick Insell Live on the Blue Raider Network from Learfield, IMG College.
Go Blue.